class. Welcome to Yoga for Cancer. I'm Rebecca, and I am delighted to see you on this last day of November. The holidays are upon us. Halloween is past, Thanksgiving too. It's just left. We are in the middle of Hanukkah, the festival of light, as we move towards that winter solstice on the 21st, the darkest day of the year, and the gradual return of the light. Christmas and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day are fast approaching. So how do you stay grounded in the whirlwind of the holidays? Or maybe you're wishing for more excitement and energy as the pandemic continues to isolate us. How can you take care of yourself? We have 3 classes, 3 weeks of classes before winter break. Cancer Support Community is closed the last 2 weeks in December, so we will not be having class then. So over the next 3 weeks, we'll be addressing this topic. This week's topic is balance, seeking, finding, and maintaining balance. Next week, we'll talk about presence, and our final week, we'll talk about rest and recharge. So, balance. What does it mean to you? Feeling steady, centered, alternating activity with rest. We practice balance when it's calm so that we can, so that we can stay balanced when that wind is blowing, when we're in the eye of the storm. So in a moment, I will lead us into our opening meditation, and then we're going to go into a pranayama breath training that's called samavriti, which means same breath. And samavriti just means that the inhale and the exhale are the same amount of time. So you'll inhale maybe for a count of 4, quick pause, exhale for a count of 4, quick pause. Now, a count, you say. What do you mean by that? I used to take yoga at the Pierce Yoga Center, and they would put on a metronome, which is, what musicians use. It goes click, click, click. So we could count. But maybe you have a ticking clock in your space, pardon me, or maybe you can just feel your heartbeats. So 4, 5, 6 heartbeats. Time, your inhale, pause, same amount of time for your exhale, pause. Now, some people will not enjoy this and give it a try for a moment and then just let it go and sit and breathe and note that information for yourself. Okay, so take a moment to find your seat for opening meditation. Feeling your feet on the ground, your bottom in your seat. Allow your hands to rest, palms down, maybe on your lap. And begin to notice, beginning to connect with your sensory environment. What is around you? If your eyes are still open, look around and see the colors, the patterns, the textures that you can see in your space. And then maybe you'll let your eyes close or take a soft, unfocused gaze to bring attention a little more deeply inward. Beginning to notice what you hear. Can you identify sounds that are beyond the sound of my voice? Steady sounds, intermittent sounds, close by, and further away. And then begin to bring your attention even more deeply inward to the sound or the sensation of your own breath as you inhale and exhale. Notice where you feel the breath. Maybe it's at the tip of your nose, all the way down in your belly or somewhere in between. Choose one spot and follow the breath, noticing how it changes. Nothing forced, soft, smooth inhales and exhales. With each inhale, sit a little taller in your seat. With each exhale, ground a little more deeply into the earth beneath you, softening your shoulders, your belly, your hips, hands and feet, and your face. Begin to count your breath, however that feels comfortable to you. You can even do it by touching thumb and fingertip rhythmically. And see how long your inhale is comfortably. Pause for a moment, and then match your exhale to your inhale. Pause for a moment, and inhale again. We'll sit for about 10 breaths. Stay with it. And after your 10th exhale, release the pattern and soften into your natural breath. Noticing if anything has changed. Your awareness. And when you're ready, come back into the room, shake your hands out, and we'll prepare for our seated poses. I'm going to scoot back a little bit here so you can see me. And we'll sit up nice and tall, whether you're seated on a cushion, in a chair, whatever works best for you. It's comfortable to have your hips a little higher than your knees. That usually allows your back to be comfortable and open. Let's turn palms up and inhale, floating the arms up on the inhale. Just go as high as it feels comfortable. And then turn palms down and slowly float the arms down. Inhale like you're lifting, scooping up air, water. Exhale as if your hands, your arms are floating down through water. Inhale, lift, and exhale down, beginning to connect movement and breath. Inhale, lift, pause here for just a moment, and then lower your right hand and come up and over with the left. Maybe reaching long feels good, or maybe it's better to bend your elbow and bring your hand behind your neck. Stay for a few breaths. As you inhale, open up the side body. As you exhale, maybe you curl a little deeper. And then use an inhale to come up and over to the other side. Maybe the same hand position, maybe a different one on this side. Stay for at least one inhale and exhale. And inhale to the other side. Take your time. We'll move side to side, following the breath. The breath is the guide. And this or the next time that you come through center, release arms down and pause. Let's inhale up together and we'll come into a twist. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale here to get nice and tall, and then exhale, twist, looking towards or over your shoulder. Inhale back through center and exhale to the other side. Inhale tall, exhale, twist. Take your time. Stay for one or more breaths, using the breath to deepen the experience. The inhale helps to create space. The exhale helps us to twist more deeply. And this or the next time that you come through center, release and come back. And we'll move on together, coming to tabletop, hands and knees. So make sure that you have a cushion underneath your knees if you're choosing to be on hands and knees. I like this mat, but you can also use a pillow or a blanket. Have your blocks handy because we'll use them in a moment. Finding your tabletop position, knees under hips, hands or fists or elbows, forearms underneath your shoulders. Take a moment, shift a little side to side. Let the weight shift from hand to hand, knee to knee, and then find that middle point where you feel balanced from side to side. And now extend your crown so you're looking down between your thumbs or your arms, and your neck is extended, right? So we're not doing this, we're not cranking the neck. The neck is extended, crown of the head is reaching, tailbone is reaching in the other direction, lengthening the spine. We'll move into cat and cow. Inhale, lift the tail, soften the belly, lift the heart, not the head. The head goes with the heart, but we don't do the crank, right? Keep the head and the heart moving together. Exhale, tuck your tail, lift the belly, and release the head. Inhale, lift, open the front body, open the heart. Exhale, tuck and lift, open between the shoulder blades. Take just a few more rolls through the spine, and then find neutral, balanced. Pause here and then extend the left leg behind you, toes down, press back and stretch through the foot or ankle. Maybe you'll inhale and lift that leg. And again, we're trying to balance the hips here so that we're not lifting or dropping the hip, but keeping them as balanced as feels comfortable. Knee and toes pointing down towards the ground. Stay here or challenge your balance by reaching the opposite arm. Stay engaged in the middle of your body and then extend at the extremities. And then lower hand and knee, maybe a little wiggle, and we'll move to the other side, extending right leg. Toes curled under first for the stretch. And then inhale, maybe you'll lift. Is it harder or easier on this side? Are you still balanced on your hands? Add the opposite arm if you like, and notice what happens. And hands and knees down, shift from side to side. We'll come into a brief child's pose. You can walk your knees wider if you like, toes together, and slowly settle your hips towards your heels. Maybe you come down onto forearms, or stacked fists, or stacked hands, or maybe your forehead comes all the way down. Take a few breaths here, opening up the back body, the hips, low back, middle back, and upper back. Big inhale here, and long, slow exhale. And then on your next inhale, press up through table and take a hold of your blocks. Spread them out a little wider than hip distance, and we'll step forward with the left leg. It comes in between the blocks, right? I think you can see. Let me fix my screen just a little. So we're in a knee down lunge position. Begin to rock a little forward and back. It's beginning to loosen up the joints, create some space. And the next time that you're coming forward, pause here. You can stay right here or choose to come up, one or both arms, reaching. This too is a balance pose. And if you've set yourself up with your foot in front of your other knee, it's going to be quite challenging. So make sure that you're still hip distance apart, your foot and your knee. Inhale, reach and open. And exhale, lower hands to blocks. Curl back toes under and press back, coming into a higher lunge. Press through your heel, lengthen your spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Now we're going to step forward with the back leg and inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Follow along. Inhale up. Exhale through a forward fold, hinging at your hips, not your waist. Come back down. This time we'll step the blocks a little further in front of us. Rest your hands on the blocks and extend that left leg behind you, finding a modified warrior three pose. And again, here we're looking to balance the hips like we did when we were on hands and knees. Knee and toes pressing down towards the ground. Crown of head is reaching. Stay or add the reach of the opposite arm. Hands to blocks. And then step back. You'll walk your blocks back with you. Lower your knee and draw the other knee back. So that was a little vinyasa, not so little maybe. We'll do it on the other side. So starting from your hands on blocks position, stepping the right leg forward in between the blocks. Begin to rock, opening up. And the next time that you come forward, stay here or begin to walk yourself up. Maybe one or both arms reach. Lifting the heart, reaching through the crown. Keeping that left hip pressing forward, right hip back. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower hands to your blocks. Let's curl back toes under. Press back, lifting the back leg. Stay right here, lengthening through the spine. Or step the back foot up to meet the front. And inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale back up. I know I'm moving fast, so take your time and stay with me if you can. Grasp your blocks here and move them forward. Hands on your blocks. This time, the right leg is going to go back. Extending. Try to balance your hip, right? Don't let it open or drop. Keep the belly engaged. Press through the heel, reach through the crown, and maybe add that opposite arm. Lower hands to blocks. Walk the blocks back. Drop your toes and then your knee. And come back to your starting position. Let me see if I can grab my AirPod. It doesn't like it sometimes when I go sideways. All right, beautiful, beautiful job. We're going to do one more thing here and bring ourselves up to standing. So step one of your legs forward, curl through the back toes, come up through your high lunge, step the back foot up to meet the front, and inhale all the way up. Exhale to heart center. We're going to move into a mountain and balance sequence. So make sure that you're set up for balance. So if that means that you need to reposition so you can touch a wall or a sturdy piece of furniture, go ahead and do that now. And then find your mountain pose, feet about hip distance apart. Take a moment here, hands on the top of your hips, to rock a little bit forward and back. Lift your toes and then your heels. Toes and heels. And then find a place that feels balanced front to back. Come to stillness and then rock from side to side. Weight into left foot and then right. And then find that place that feels balanced. Let your knees bend. We're going to move our hips forward and back. It's kind of like the cat-cow sequence that we did on hands and knees, just rocking the pelvis. We can even rock it side to side. We can make circles and go the other way. And then come through center, press into your feet, and find that neutral pelvis. So you're not into hyperlordosis, but you're also not tucking. You're right in that sweet spot where the pelvis is neutral. Press into your feet to stand tall, and let's inhale and raise arms up. Palms come together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that twice more. And last one. And we'll stay here. Take a moment to find your focal point, something on your horizon line that isn't moving, something for your eyes to rest on. And then feel your palms making contact with each other. We need to find balanced pressure so that the arms don't move from side to side. We can stay right in the center. Take a moment to find all of those balance points once again on your feet, in your pelvis, reaching up nice and tall. And then release arms down, finding your mountain pose. Finding that sense of stillness, steadiness, groundedness, balance right here. Then we'll slide into our tree pose, pressing down through the left leg. The weight shifts ever so slightly so that the right foot can come up and turn out. You'll find a spot either down at your ankle, at your calf, or above at your inner thigh, above or below the knee. Feel the pressure of the leg against your foot, the foot against your leg, helping to create that balance. Eyes on your focal point. Stay right here, come in and out as you need to, and then inhale, maybe growing branches. It's been the most magnificent fall here in Atlanta, and it's at the waning end. Trees are starting to be a little more bare. What does that feel like? Big inhale. And then exhale through center. Come to stillness. Maybe you'd like to walk it out a little. Find your mountain once again before we move to the other side. Once you find that balance point, that stillness, that balance of calm, then you can move into the off balance pose, finding your foot position here. Keep drawing that hip in for support, belly in, lifting through the crown, and then maybe add branches. We have to be flexible so that we can find balance, right? Big inhale, lift, and exhale, hands through heart center, 2 feet down. Come to stillness, mountain pose. Take a few breaths here. You might even close your eyes or softly gaze at your focal point. Feeling the strength of this pose where we are balanced front to back, side to side, top to bottom, reaching deep into the earth, lifting high into the sky. If your eyes are closed, blink them open, find your focal point, and inhale, wings and one leg, flying crane. Exhale down through center, inhale to the other side. And now we'll fly, moving a little bit faster with your breath, getting that sensation of buoyancy, that suspension that it seems birds have, moving side to side. And the next time that you're lifting, lift, 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 and come through center, other side, lift, 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 and come back to your mountain. Feel the feet. Feel the balance, side to side, front to back. Circle around. Come to stillness. Let's inhale, lifting arms up, palms together. Exhale here. This time we'll inhale up and step out a little wider. If it's comfortable, bring your hands together, interlace your fingers and extend your index fingers. If that is not comfortable, keep your hands down on your hips. We're going to move into half moon pose. Wherever you are, inhale and get tall. Press your right hip to the right and come up and over the left, trying to stay in one plane of movement. If this is too much, lower the hand and support yourself on your hip, or it could be here or here. Inhale through center, hips come to center, and then press the hips and exhale up and over to the other side. As you're here, try to balance the weight on your feet. Try to balance your hips, balance your shoulders, your arms, wherever they may be. Inhale, find center. We'll do 1 or 2 more times to each side. Move at your own pace, holding for maybe a breath or 2. Inhale through center and exhale over. Inhale up this or the next time and release arms down. Step back in. We'll inhale up one last time, palms meet, and exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment once again to find your balance, and then, if it's comfortable, let your eyes close. Noticing what it's like to find balance from the inside out. Take just a few breaths here. And then shake it out. And we'll make our way down to the mat. So take your time and find your way down. Take advantage of your props. Maybe you'd like a sip of water. And we're going to move all the way down onto our backs. So begin to make your way onto your back, letting your knees be bent. In another class, I taught couch pose. One of my teachers calls this pose where you extend one arm and kind of slide out like you're lying on the couch, and then roll to your back. For this sequence, it's better not to have anything underneath your head. Let your knees be bent, your knees and feet about hip distance apart and pretty close to your body. Let your hands come down at your sides, palms down. And we're going to find a pelvic tilt. Inhale in place and then exhale and press the small of your back into the mat. Inhale, release the press, and think of pressing your tailbone down towards the mat. So we're tilting the pelvis. Exhale, the top of the pelvis presses down. Inhale, the bottom of the pelvis presses down. Take your time, rocking. And then find that neutral pelvis that's somewhere in between those two movements where the natural curve is still there. So you're not tucked, but you're also not over exaggerating that curve. Hands down at your sides, pressing down. We're going to press into our feet and slowly on an inhale, lift the hips a little or a little more. Exhale and lower them down. Inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips. Now see if you can shift your hips from side to side. Feeling the balance shift from one leg to the other, maybe one hip to the other. Find the center and slowly lower hips down. You can stay with lifting and lowering, lifting and shifting, or add some arm movement. Inhale and float the arms up as you lift your hips. Your hands can come down, you can come out to the side, whatever's comfortable. Exhale, lower arms and hips. Inhale, lift hips and arms, and maybe leave your arms where they are and exhale, slowly lower the hips all the way down. Inhale, press up the hips to meet the arms, and then exhale and lower hips and arms. Stay with any part of this sequence, from the pelvic tilt to gentle bridge to bridge with arm movement for the next 5 or so breaths. And when your sequence feels complete, draw your knees in, hug them in, maybe rocking a little from side to side. And when you're ready, take your time, roll to one side, Press into your hands and make your way back up to sitting. Find a comfortable seat for some breath work, and then we'll move into either seated meditation, or if you prefer to lie back down to Shavasana, that is perfectly appropriate. So finding your comfortable seat for some breath work. We're going to work with alternate nostril breath, Nadi Shodhana. And I'm going to teach it to you first and then lead you in. So Nadi Shodhana is a process of breathing where you block one nostril and then exhale and inhale on the other side. And then you switch and you block the other nostril and you exhale and inhale. And you keep switching back and forth. Now you can do it traditionally with Vishnu Mudra, with thumb and ring finger. Sometimes I like to place my middle finger right at my third eye, and then I can use either those two fingers, or you could use my pinky finger, or you can use one hand and then the other. Now, if your nose is feeling kind of stuffed up, don't press hard. You don't have to completely close the nose. We're just giving the body the suggestion of breathing on one side and then the other. Okay? So take a moment to find your breath, to establish a comfortable, smooth breath. Allow your eyes to close if you like, or take a soft gaze. Feeling the movement of breath in your body. When you feel ready, bring one hand up. Use your thumb to close your nostril. Exhale on the other side. Inhale on the other side. And switch. Close the other nostril. Exhale out the first side. Inhale on the first side. And switch. Exhale. Inhale. Switch. Exhale. Inhale. Switch. Stay with the pattern. Find your own speed. Exhale. Inhale. Switch. Stay with it. Another few rounds. And the next time that you're exhaling out of your left nostril, exhale, release, and inhale through both nostrils. Keep your attention inward as much as you can, noticing any effects that you feel from this breath. And now you have the option to stay seated or to lie down. I'll take you through a short guided meditation with breath and then rest. Take a moment to find your position. Allow eyes to close, settling into the cushion or the floor beneath you. Inhale, elongate the spine. Excuse me, exhale and release into the earth beneath you. We're going to practice a full body Nadi Shodhana. So imagine that you can inhale. I'm so sorry. Imagine, I'm imagining that I can inhale. Imagine that you can inhale from the sole of your right foot. The breath comes in your foot, up your leg, and all the way up the side of your body to the crown. Exhale and imagine that the breath is washing down the other side all the way down and releasing through your foot. We'll switch. Inhale on that same side. Feel the breath flowing all the way up the left side or whichever side you're on, all the way to the crown. Exhale and release the breath flowing, washing down and out through the surface of your foot. Continue with this alternating pattern. Imagine that the breath is flowing up one side of your body and flowing down the other side. Stay with it. Stay with the pattern as long as it's useful, and then release into your natural breath. Take one precious human life. Add a slice of mindfulness, a heaping cup of contemplative practice, any flavor you choose. Dissolve the personal self in a quart of self-inquiry. Blend laughter, love, well-being, awareness, ease, and truth. Mix ingredients and bake until done. Recipe serves everyone. Leftovers can be used in open-faced, non-dual sandwiches. Feel free to experiment with unusual ingredients. Cooking time will vary. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. If you're lying down, roll to one side and pause. And then pressing into hands, come up to sitting. And when you feel ready, blink eyes open. We'll seal our practice with one chant of Om for the community that we create when we practice together. If you'd like to join, bringing hands to heart center, we'll inhale together. Om Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Jai Bhagwan. May the light in you be victorious. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and with each other.